I'm going to share a case study with you about how we helped another agency fix a Google Ads account and Google Merchant Center account suspension on behalf of one of their clients. And you might be surprised by how many agencies actually reach out and hire StubGroup on behalf of their clients to fix suspensions. And in most cases, I don't really fault these agencies. Sometimes it's a mistake that they made that is related to the suspension, but often it's really nothing to do with how they've been managing the accounts. And I just don't expect most agencies to spend the amount of time and resources and money that we do here at StubGroup into keeping up with Google's policies, figuring out how to fix suspensions, what's working now, and so forth. And so often agencies come to us as the expert and saying, hey, can you help us on behalf of our client? Now, a common concern that agencies have when they reach out to us is, are we going to steal their client? Because we also provide similar services, Google Ads management, SEO, things like that to our clients. And the short answer is no, we won't steal clients from our agency partners, and we're happy to put agreements and things in place to give them any safety that they want to have, that we're not going to create a problem, go behind their back to their clients. So in this particular situation, agency reached out to us, and their client was an e-commerce business selling products through their website. The products were power tools, drills, things like that. They had a pretty wide selection of different types of products they were selling. And they had two suspensions. Their Merchant Center account was suspended for misrepresentation, which is the most common type of suspension for Google Merchant Center. And then their Google Ads account was suspended for terms and conditions. And most of the time, when you see this phrase, terms and conditions, in your suspended Google Ads account, it's basically the suspension is because the ad account is linked to the Google Merchant Center account. And so the course of action you need to take, and what we did in this situation, is first fix the Merchant Center, and then generally, if you can fix the Merchant Center, then you can also just appeal the ad account and Google will bring it back. Now, there's always exceptions to every rule, but that's how it works in most cases. So based upon our experience with situations like this, that's the order of events that we worked in. We started first with the Google Merchant Center. And the client in this situation was very privacy oriented. What I mean by that is they did not want to share documentation about their business with Google. They didn't even want to share access to their suspended Merchant Center with us here at StubGroup, which definitely made our job more difficult, but we were up to the challenge, and we still worked through things and worked with the agency that was hiring us on behalf of the client. So we dug into things, and first, kind of via our access to the other agency, took a look at the Merchant Center, identified what needed to be fixed in there, and then also did a detailed audit and review of the website. And we had the client make a large number of changes. Things like making sure they had the appropriate policy pages on the website, adding things like frequently asked questions and guarantees, optimizing their Contact Us page to more clearly communicate their contact information. We also had them add an About Us page to the website. And one other very important thing that we found had to do with the functionality of the website. So what was going on is that the client had, I think it was a free shipping offer if you had products that were, or if your cart was worth $75 or more. And that was working fine. But what we found as part of our audit was that when you tried to add a product that was cheaper than $75 to the cart, it wasn't working. There was literally a technical issue with the website that was preventing those products from being added to the cart, which obviously is a problem for Google because that's not functionality the way it should be, which essentially is false advertising. You're saying, hey, you can buy this product for $20, but you can't actually buy it because you can't add it to your cart. And so that was a big functionality issue that we found as well. And I would say, we often find issues like that, along with some of those other credibility and policy type issues that I mentioned earlier, when we look at clients' websites. It's very common for them to just not realize that there's a problem or an issue, or maybe there's a problem on mobile that they didn't see because they were only looking at their website on computers, for example. All sorts of fun things that can happen like that. So we identified all those issues, worked with the client to fix all those issues, and then appealed the Google Merchant Center suspension. Google accepted our appeal, got that back online. Then we tackled the ad account, appealed that terms and conditions suspension, got that back on as well, and fully reinstated that client's ability to advertise on Google, and the agency who hired us, their ability to manage campaigns on behalf of that client. So if you are an agency or just a normal advertiser who is dealing with a suspension or just wants help either fixing a suspension or making sure you don't get suspended and needs help complying with Google's policies, we would love to help. Please reach out through StubGroup.com and let's talk about your situation and how we can get you back online with Google.